please check out and contribute to the Finishing Funds campaign for Elsie Holt's new movie Watchdog. The link is in the show notes. There are plenty of perks to get for your money. Enjoy the show.
Rated B-rated movies.
Well, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for asking.
Yes. With us, we have Shannon Stockin, right?
Stockin, like a Christmas stockin.
Oh, Stockin. There's a T in it.
Yeah.
There?
No.
What?
Stockin.
I thought there was Stockin. Because I was like, Stockin versus Stockin. Like, oh, I'm sorry. What a jackass I am.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. That's my first strike, apparently.
It's okay. It's all good.
So, yes, from Sharks of the Corn.
Yes, great movie.
The episode reached out to you many times. Well, tagged you many times. Probably just annoyed you. Like, quit tagging me, you know? But
I love it.
no, the movie. It was awesome. We saw, you know, we're just like, hey, reached out, and then it's like she also played like 5 roles in that movie. So it wasn't just detective. It was I like the last role. It was like she also played redneck, and you're just like, what? Name? Yeah. So thank you for taking your time and on with us.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's see. That episode, I had my best friend on it, and we really enjoyed it. Like we said, there's movies where they drag on, you know, and there's movies that you're like, oh, wait a second, it's already half over. You know, you wanted more of it, you know, and I think that Sharks of the Corn, besides the awesome name, you know, was really, really fun to watch, especially with, you know, friends and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, you played 5 roles. You want to tell, I don't know, hopefully everybody has seen the movie already, or at least they've seen, you know, our episode, anything like that. But you want to tell us about it? Like where was it filmed?
Well, we filmed it in Kentucky, and another actor friend of ours has a farm, and he actually built like this little small French chalet for his ex-wife on this farm. So he had the cornfields and everything. So he's always like, yeah, you guys can film whenever. I mean, it's out, you know, away from everything, so we can scream and we can bloody everything up, you know. So that's where we filmed it. So that was good. The only thing that was bad is the trek to the cornfield. So you're carrying like all this equipment and all of the, you know, all of this stuff, and you're walking like 4 football field lengths to get to this stupid cornfield, and it's hot as hell, you know. So it's like,
yeah. So I think because there's one time I think we met it right where it was just the middle. It wasn't like an entire field of corn. It was like this gigantic field, and in the center of it, that's where the cornfield was.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't. Trekking in all of that equipment. The only people that trekked in that equipment was the police officers and that woman who put the
Trish. And obviously you can tell we didn't take ourselves too seriously, and it's awful funny because a lot of the reviews that I've seen or like the podcast where they reviewed it was like, they bought the extended uncut version when the Blu-ray first released, and then the cut. Why would you complain about that? And
right.
And then it was like, you know, what they were just nitpicking it, and it's like, just sit back and have fun. That's what we did, you know. It's not to be taken seriously, like, you know. So people are funny.
That's different. Like Anthony and I actually sit back and enjoy watching the movies, thinking and everything with it. You know, like we've seen other ones where we look at the comments, and that's like the first thing they say is don't look at the comments. Everybody does it, and like with Anthony and I, like we've had other interviews, and we're like, no, we genuinely like, for the most part, Anthony watches, I think, a little bit of the movie.
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
Blind. Like, I watch the trailer of it, and so everything else is just all genuine of me, like, good gods and holy shits and everything like that. Like it's all real, And we read a couple comments on other ones that we've done, had interviews with, and you're just like, dude, no matter what, they would a million times better than you would do,
Yeah.
So like, don't get on there and try to bag on somebody's work and everything like that. Like you're not a film critic, you're not cool. Like go try to do what they're doing, and try to write some stupid comment. It's just a bunch of trolls. Trolls.
No. But I mean, I guess, bad press is good press. Any press is good press, just whatever. And it actually got people wanting to see it because people were saying, oh my God, this is so stupid. Of course, people want to see it after that,
Yeah, no, we liked it. Yeah.
It actually just got a big release in Japan too. So,
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they did custom artwork, Japanese artwork and stuff for the posters and everything, and they're pretty badass. I mean, they look really cool. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of other. So as soon as we bugged you enough, for you hit us up on Instagram, I was like, all right, definitely are going to try to get her on.
Yeah.
So get on. But then we also went down the list of movies that you were in, or if she would get on, we could do some more episodes with other movies that are with her, so you sent us a couple movies, they're pretty funny. Well, I don't want to be funny like rude, but pretty cool. There was Hell's Half Acre.
Yeah.
Hell's Half Acre.
Yeah.
And we root for, again, I think Anthony and I are just, I don't know, we're the assholes. We're just like, that guy deserves to die. He comes up, So, Hell's Half Acre, basically a great storyline. For no reason, a farmer, his wife, and their kid gets murdered, and then they come back for vengeance.
Yeah.
Like we like the original stories that actually come up instead of the normal everyday type of stuff,
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it.
Then
there's a funny story about that one. We actually filmed it in Madisonville, Kentucky. And it was funny because I lived in Nashville at the time, and everything I was filming was in Kentucky. So now, because I'm like, it's just moved here. But it had snowed when we were filming, and it was so cold. Oh my God. That scene where I'm getting killed in that one, the killer, crazy, everybody, I've got different stories for each director, and some of them not good. So anyway, this director, I won't say names or, but he had a little too much to drink that night. And me and the killer are out in the snow, and I swear to God, it's like below 0 degrees, and it's snowing, and he's literally, I'm like in one spot, like the weirdest, I don't even know how to describe it, the weirdest position, because he's trying to hold me, but I'm like leaning back, and the director's like, oh, you guys stay right there. Don't move. You stay right there. I've got to go get more batteries for my camera. We're like, are you fucking kidding me now? So we're standing there. We're like, okay, it's only going to take a few minutes, because he's just going to the car or wherever he was going to the house. And we literally stood there for almost 40 minutes.
In the same position.
Waiting. He was drunk. Like, I think he got lost. Don't know. Have no idea. So, but the funny thing is right after that, because we didn't film in sequence. So right after the kill scene is where I'm running. and my legs were like, I couldn't feel my legs. My legs were numb from the cold. And so when you see me running and you see me trip and fall and all of that, that's for real, because I could not feel my legs.
So then you don't know if you're all injured. It's like, where'd this blood come from?
I know. So all of that was like, that was reality because I couldn't feel my legs or my feet. So
Man.
yeah, that was fun.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, well, I'd have to say the in Sharks of the Corn, it was the oddest group of characters that I've ever seen in a movie, but
Yeah.
it just works. It's really fun.
It was.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I wonder, like, was that intentional to like create this group of characters that you never see in a movie together?
Maybe. The thing is that when the script was written, there were other multiple characters that would have like filled the gaps, you know. But the reason that I ended up playing so many roles was because people wouldn't show up. It's like, why would you not show up to be in a horror movie? Like, what's wrong with you? You know?
Exactly.
So it was like, okay, Shannon, do you have, you know, black cargo pants in the car? Yes. Okay, throw them on real fast. You know, go play the robber. I'm like, are you seriously? So that's how it was. And we filmed over 6 weeks. So the people knew ahead of time, you know, when the film schedule was, and they just wouldn't show up. And it's so hard. It just blows my mind how hard it is to get people to actually, you know, commit and actually film this stuff. So that's one of the reasons we just all kind of jumped in and did the character. So we kind of cut a good bit of the ones that would have, you know, kind of made it all make sense, but it worked, I guess. I don't know.
It worked. It was fun. Like you're saying, it's so hard to get them, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
It looks fun to be, especially, I don't know. We always ask the questions too. You know, we've seen other people do like horror and then they do comedy, you know, and
Yeah.
like, oh no. He's like, sometimes in the middle of the horror ones, like we'll just be busting jokes and we'll be like, okay, crap, get back to serious now. Because, you know, so it just like it'd be like a group of friends that getting together and shooting, you know, having fun and do stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's the good thing about Sharks of the Corn is a horror comedy. So you can kind of, you know, do both. So it's all good.
No, it was a serious movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. We had a good time. I mean, in the hotel scene, you know, that is me, by the way, playing my twin.
I caught that.
Yeah.
With the syringe pen.
With a terrible black wig, you know.
No, because we're like, I'm pretty sure that's it. When you heard the episode, we're like, no,
I did.
for sure. And like, I think we had an argument for a little bit. Was that really her? And they were like, yes, it was. And we're just like, damn, you see, like we're right there watching everything.
Yeah.
And we weren't even 100% positive until I was like, hey, Anthony, like, you know, I tagged her on Instagram, and then just to make sure, like, it's like, yep, here it is, and 4 other roles that she played. Like, all right, well, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I mean, at least I got to expand a little bit and do some different stuff. So it was cool. I mean, like I said, I'm always throwing like extra clothes, and because I know how this works. This is, you know, I've done a lot of films with Tim Ritter and Twisted Illusions Entertainment, and I know how it goes. And so I'm always prepared, and I always bring like extra like costume change or something, because I know somebody's not going to show up. Yep. And he's going to be like, Shane, I need you to do. So I already know this, you know. So luckily it worked out. So that's good. I'm glad you guys liked it.
Yeah, it was different. It was which is always good.
Yeah.
It had an idea. Like even the drone who takes a shot of the cornfield to see the sharks shooting back and forth.
So campy and just so ridiculous. But I mean, I'm glad that some people actually got it, so that was what we were hoping for. So I'm glad you guys got it.
No, the kill scene, especially when is instead of stabbing her with like the knife, he's using the shark mouth and he's hitting it, and I was like, there you go.
Yeah. That I did that effect on myself.
Oh yeah, that was good makeup because it was all split up here. Everybody's doing video, so it's all split up around her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did the effects for that one. I do that a lot too. So that's another thing. So not only am I acting, I do all the special effects too. Like the practical stuff or whatever. I actually in the woods when me and the other robber are going through the woods and you see the booby traps and you have the metal ball, ball. I made that. It's actually it's sitting up there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that and the little spikes, it's like, Shannon, hey, can you make some metal spikes or something like really quick? We need them this weekend. I'm like, wait, what? So, and at the same time, I have this prosthetic piece and stuff where I'm making the whole shark queen thing or whatever. So I'm working on that. And then all of a sudden it's like, Shannon, can you make me a metal ball, like swinging ball, like with spikes, or can you make some spikes and I'm like, wait, what?
Need a killing machine.
I mean, so yeah, it's just like, it was a constant thing. So yeah, I mean, but we do, and I'm like, the budget was only like $2,000 for the whole entire film.
That's impressive.
So
$2,000.
Yeah. So and most of the budget actually went to, they had some camera and lighting failures and had to go buy, equipment and stuff. So it was, it was done on a dime. So I was just whipping up shit left and right, like trying to figure out how to make this stuff. But, hey, it worked, I guess. So,
yeah. I think that was the good part to her, too. We're just like, watch out for the booby traps. We were yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, it is. It looked like you were fighting the predator.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it was fun though. It was fun. I mean, as much work as we put into it, or I put into it, like doing all of this, the extra stuff, and then learning all the lines, because we would break it down, like the days that I had to like act. Those weekends, that's all I would do. And then the weekends where it was like heavy effects, that's all I would do. Yeah. So that way I don't have to, juggle too much at the same time. But except for the final scene where the shark goddess appears, that was wild because we didn't have any lighting we didn't have like an area for me to apply the full prosthetic and everything and get dressed in a costume because we were out in the cornfield. So I literally sat in my car with nothing but the visor light, and I put all of that stuff. I'm sitting here, like trying to put all of this stuff on and get dressed in a costume, and I'm like half naked out here in the cornfield. And it's like, in the dark. And I mean, for what it's worth, I guess it turned out okay. I mean, I don't know, but literally visor light effects. Like,
no, it all turned out. It's crazy.
But wow. I mean, on a $2,000 budget, you just work with what you got, so.
You guys did it.
Yeah.
No,
definitely. Yeah, it was really entertaining. You could tell that people were having fun. Everybody cared. It felt like it didn't feel like work.
Right. Except for that.
I enjoyed that. Sorry, what was that?
Except for that trek to the cornfield, that was work.
Oh yeah. That is quite a walk with all that equipment.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, to kind of go back to something you said earlier, like I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about Bunny Man. Like after watching the movie, it's obviously intentionally supposed to be bad. And they're just sitting there like picking at it and just like it's supposed to be a professional film and how they could have done it better. And it's just like, I get the feeling. It's like, you've done all this work, you do this thing, and people don't get it. They don't get what you're doing.
Right.
Or you're doing it on a budget, not millions of dollars.
Yep. It's true. I mean, and they don't understand that. But there again, like Brian said, I think it was Brian. Yeah. I mean, you can't do it any better. What are you doing? You know, like why? So, yeah. I don't know. People just like to, mindless chatter, trolling, like you said. That's just how it goes. But it's all good. We still have a big fan base for that. I mean, it got a huge following. Like I said, these people that are commenting, like, crazy stuff like that, do they have a film that just had a big giant release in Japan? No.
Yeah.
The ones that are just home probably live in their mom's basement,
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, do you have people asking you to come to conventions or sign autographs or take pictures with you and stuff? No. I mean, so just, and I don't know, but I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm used to it. I just kind of I'm even keel with everybody. They don't like it. They don't have to watch it, so.
Yeah. So, then I know I talked before this, and we're saying that you've been in a bunch of other movies, but they're, I'd say, almost impossible to find, right?
Yeah.
So you were able to send us some, but I mean, we could talk about, Cosmic Desire, about, some woman wants to, get with some aliens, but then the aliens like, dude, you're too crazy for me, and the aliens, that one's that one's pretty funny too. That one's good, but I guess we can just rub it in the listeners' faces that we get to see it and you guys don't, type of thing.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, if anything, that you can tell us, like, are you working on something? Anything that we can know without giving us too big of a spoiler or getting in trouble for saying, yeah, I'm working on this and it's going to come out this time, so we can look forward to something else with you that would be easier for other people to find and see and view?
Yeah. Actually, I think I told you a little bit about High Fear, and it's part of I think it's a trilogy. I think there's like a few more that have actually released and stuff. So that's one that we worked on for a long time, but it's making its festival rounds right now, but it's going to release. It's going to have a big LA release with that one. So that one's supposed to come out this year. Well, 2023. It's close to this year, so it's coming. But then we also are in the works of doing a Twisted Illusions 3 movie, which it's also a trilogy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with any of Tim Ritter's work or not.
Just looking things up on IMDb, but haven't really watched a lot.
Yeah.
Wicked Games, Linnea Quigley, Killing Spree, Screaming for Sanity, Truth or Dare, all of those movies. So, and we literally just had some re-release Blu-ray for all of those, where I also got to do some commentary and some interviews and stuff for those. And so Twisted Illusions is another one of the two movies that he's done in the past. So we're going to work on the third one. So that's coming up, and I'm trying so hard to try to get him to go for a Killing Spree sequel. Which, if you guys haven't seen Killing Spree, you need to see it.
Killing Spree, hold on. We always take
Killing
Spree too.
Killing Spree with asbestos felt. You have got to see that.
Right.
It is
definitely
amazing. And then you also mentioned on our call, I don't know if you can talk about it had a feline in it. Anything about that?
Catnado.
Okay. I don't want to say it because you'd be like, no, Brian.
Yeah.
Nobody's supposed to see this movie yet.
That one is releasing next year too. It's gonna. The thing is some of these directors, like when you do these indie films, some of them are really, when you do collabs with some of the directors, we're all for getting shit out there, and we have a good distribution company that gets it out there, and but when we do these collabs with other people, Catnado is one, High Fear is a collab with other directors, they kind of have their own thing. And no matter what we say, even though we've been doing this longer, it's kind of like you need to, but they're not going to listen to us. So we just kind of let them do their thing. And a lot of times they make the wrong decisions, which is, it's the name of the game. Like you live and learn, basically. So the reason you can't find some of this stuff is because it does like a limited Blu-ray release or a limited DVD release. And they don't go any further than that. They don't care about going any further than that, I guess. I don't know. It's fun for us to do the collabs with them and, get some stuff out there. But also Peyton's Burden, you may have seen that on my IMDb too. That was another one that I did. That was the very first movie I ever did. And it's a drama, and basically kind of got shelved. Like we had a big theater screening of it and everything. We had DVDs, we sold them, and then that was it. Nothing else. So a lot of directors tend to do that, and I hate that you can't really find them and stuff. But so, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Like, hey, we're gonna search around for all of these, and there was one we were with. I don't remember who we were with. Mm-hmm. He's like, try to find this movie, try on this DVD.
Oh,
like,
I know what you're talking about. Elsie Holt.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but
Top Skull.
Yeah, and like we searched on, I think it was on Amazon. I was like, hey, I found it, but I didn't scroll down enough to see how much it's. Yeah. He's like, okay, now look how much it is. It was like $197, because nobody has them.
Yeah.
So thank you for at least, you sent us the links to watch some other movies of yours, and we're very grateful. Good stuff too.
Well, and I may not be able to send like the movie in its entirety, but at least I can send you the segment that I did, because that's, my director, so he can do that. But I mean, I may not be able to send you the whole movie, but at least there's something.
There was good,
Yeah.
No, we sent it, and we have enough that we can actually watch them, and we can talk about it and stuff. Yeah. So, no, it was.
And then we're gonna have a lot more stuff too. So I mean, it's Gift Wrapped and Gutted is the one that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. That was also a collab. And it's funny, I have DVDs of all of these. Of course, we get, they send us the DVDs and stuff. And if you ever want me to send you the DVD, just let me know. Right. But if not, I can just, again, I can send you the link for our specific segment. But these are all like anthology films, and it's just kind of cool. Like if you have a short story in your head, and you're like, we can film, and then somebody approaches you and they're like, hey, we're doing this movie. Do you have any ideas? And we're like, yeah, we have the short story. So here you go. So, it's just on a whim, like us doing this stuff. And we know it's not going to go anywhere, but it's just fun and keeps us. I always say I have creativity ants in my pants, and I have to get them out. So even if it's like a collab short, I'm going to do it. Like, I don't care. So.
It's enjoyable,
Yeah.
I think, and this is the truth. We're not going to say the name of it, but Anthony and I have been doing this for a couple months now. Well, yeah, a while. We record multiple times a week, so we watched a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. I think honestly, there was just one movie that's like, delete it, delete the movie, delete that we didn't even do this episode.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was, but every other one, but that one, yeah.
Oh
we
wow.
we're like, dude, we can put our iPhone right now and do something better. It wasn't, but only one time that we've ever had an issue with, a movie not being enjoyable. And so, the stuff that we were able to watch, it was good to watch.
Yeah,
now
and
everybody can go see Sharks of the Corn.
Yeah.
which I have to say, Hell's Half Acre, like I really did want to see more. It was really cool, like how cohesive the story is, and how you almost didn't need like a marker telling you what time, what date it was for
Yeah.
each portion of it, because everything was really well told.
Yeah. Well, good.
So yeah, like that was an enjoyable one.
And it was short. I know it was short. I think it was like 30 minutes and a few seconds, something like that. But at the same time, it also got the point across, but yeah, I think if it would have been a little bit longer, I think it would have been really cool too, but
could be a feature. I mean, it had the kind of the skeleton for it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So much sheriff from Chicago though.
What?
He's like, you come and live on a quarter acre in Chicago. He's like, this is a town to live in. You're just like, what the hell? Why would you move from some big ass town to some tiny little town? It looked like it had like 400 people in it, most. He's like, oh, back in my day in Chicago, like I'd murder everybody every single day. And you're just like, all right,
Oh my Lord.
Yes.
Small town life better sometimes. I don't know.
They were great. They were great. I really appreciate you sending them. Like that was above and beyond appreciated. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
But anything in the future? I know that you said that you were working on those that come out next. Anything else you can tell us without getting in trouble?
Movie wise,
right.
Yeah. As far as I know right now, other than what I'm trying to push for to do, I've written a couple of scripts myself that even if I don't film it with Twisted Illusions, I want to try to do on my own. So that may happen, and they're not long. They're like Hell's Half Acre, 30 minutes or so. If I can cram it, all in and do it that way, it just depends. So I'm looking at doing a few of my own scripts too.
Dead bodies in Vegas.
Huh?
So if you ever need dead bodies in Vegas,
Hey,
you ever need in the face, I've got an 8-year-old.
Yeah. So I mean, other than that, and when I'm not doing that kind of stuff, I do some modeling and stuff like that. So I have like random photo shoots that I do. I'm always doing, special effects on myself and doing some photo, just anything to keep myself busy with the stuff that I love, So,
So
go ahead. Sorry.
Didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say you did, since I completely messed up your name at the beginning of the chat. Sorry.
Okay.
You want to mention the other one, your other Ninja Go, so that way people can also look that up instead of just your acting one.
Yeah, Michelle Macabre. Funny thing is, when I very first started doing all of this stuff, I would my dad was a special effects artist. So I grew up doing this stuff and, around it and making masks and molds and all of this stuff. So I had the retail job, corporate America, and I was just like, this is not for me anymore. Like I can't do it. I did it for so long. And so I finally just said, look, let's focus on you and do your thing. So I made props, and I make my own costume. And so I would go to these conventions. I started going to these horror conventions, and with my costumes that I made and my props and everything, and just championing for myself basically, because I didn't have anybody else supporting me, so I'm trying to get my name out there. And So the very first convention that I went to was when I was approached to do a podcast. It's really weird. So I did that for a little bit and got on there and, just started connecting, with a lot of people and stuff through the podcast, just like connecting with you guys, doing podcasts. And it just blows my mind how you can literally connect with people just by, just going out there and just meeting and greeting. I was scared to death. Like, I had never been to a convention before, didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just out there showing, my stuff, because I was like a zombie waitress or some shit. And it just blows my mind. And like, even those people that I met way back then, I think like 2011, like I'm still like really good friends with all these people, this many years later. And it's all because of, me taking a chance, really getting out there and showing like some of the work that I can do or what I could do, and it's just crazy, like how all of that works. And then here I am like this many years later and I'm still doing it, but I've branched out into acting and doing movies and effects for movies. I mean, granted they're B movies, but still,
better than anybody else or anything we could do.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, and it's crazy, like some of these effects and stuff, and that's what you're talking about in the future. A lot of times Tim will write a script around an effect that I come up with. So with the mouth thing from the shark, I had posted some photos where I was just messing around. I do that. I sit around. I'm like, oh, I have an idea. Let me go do this. I'll go in the bathroom, slap it on, throw some photos up, and he saw it and he's like, oh my God. He's like, Ron, who we distribute through SRS Cinema, and Ron is the head of that. And he's like, he wants us to do this, this movie, but it has to have something to do with sharks, because sharks is really big right now, because they had Shark House come out and Shark Exorcist and all of that stuff. So when he saw that picture of the mouth thing effect that I did, he was like, Sharks of the Corn, we got this. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what?
What was it? Stephen King's.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. That was just like one of those trickery things, where people would be like, Stephen King, what? But if you're not paying attention, people would think that it was Stephen King. I mean, because like I work a regular job and the movie got released online at my job, okay, which is retail, and a couple of other retail places. And people were like freaking out because they were like, holy shit, you worked with Stephen King? And I'm like,
so close. That got us too. Like, we're like, dude, there's no way this is that person's name.
Yeah, no.
If that is you legally have to make a movie writer,
Yeah. But it was just that little, with people not paying attention. And that was the whole marketing thing, it just kind of got people's attention. And I had so many of my like coworkers and stuff like, why didn't you tell us you work with Stephen King? And I'm like, because I wasn't.
Back and reread it. Like, that could be the greatest typo ever, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it was purposely done. And they asked him, funny story, they were like, hey, you mind if we change your name to Stephen King? And he's like, whatever, go ahead, I mean, it just kind of added to the humor of the movie anyway. So it worked out.
Yeah. Like I said, when we first saw it, we're just like, amazing if that's a real name. It helps you pull into it too. Because then when you started looking into it, then you're just like, okay, well, that's not a real one, but they did do this movie, so now let's look at the movie. And, you were saying, you go into almost like a rabbit hole, but you go into it and you're saying, okay, I watched this one, and then it's like, because you watched that one, it's also this one, and then you start watching that one, So it's awesome.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember what one, but it's like, watch this one because you watched that one. And that's how we came across Sharks of the Corn. then after that, we started looking into more of them, and that's how we got into the other ones. So,
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's like that B movie rabbit hole, like you said, happens that way sometimes.
No. But, Anthony, you got anything? I think I took up everybody's time. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, no, you didn't. No, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. I mean, the movie was great. We kind of was on our list of movies to watch for a little bit, and it was just one of the weeks we didn't have anything to fill in the weeks, so we just kind of picked it, and it was a really great choice.
David came to town. He's like, "Hey, let's watch this," and we're like, "It's on our list, so let's do it."
There you go.
No, well, it's been, Anthony and I started doing this for fun, and then it started getting into, okay, now I need to make a schedule.
There you go.
So then with the schedule, they were like, okay, so yeah, my buddy came into town that week, and he's like, have you seen this? And then we're like, it's on our list, see, so might as well just knock it off. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thankfully we did do it, and at the right time too.
Yeah, that show was amazing. I literally have never laughed my ass off so much. When you guys watched Sharks of the Corn, it was great. That was awesome. Thank you.
It's all genuine too. Like we don't. Like I said, I base my entire thing. It could be a great movie, and then it sends me like a trailer. I'll be like, the trailer looks like this, or vice versa. So everything, Anthony's like, hey, let's check out this trailer, and I was like, okay. I like to go in blind.
Yeah.
Because then everything is more genuine. Yeah. But
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So
awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully we can keep in touch. We can jump back, maybe do an episode together again. It'd be fun if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Busy. Not gonna, if you have time for it.
Just let me know.
Yeah. It'd be great.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. We are available on Apple, Google, Stitcher, and Spotify. Give us a like and subscribe if you like what you're hearing.